Obviously Wallace's reputation, guys, would grow and grow and grow, and men would then flock to his cause. But yeah, Wallace, guys, he wasn't alone in using these tactics. So up in Highlands, guys, there was another nobleman up there, Andrew de Murray. Oh yeah, Andrew Murray. And yeah, eventually, guys, Wallace and Murray would meet and arrange to take on English in Stirling and Stirling Bridge. But yeah, back in the 11th and 12th century, guys, Stirling Castle was perhaps the most important castle in the whole of Scotland. Because yeah, if you had control of Stirling, guys, you had control of the 47-mile land bridge between Stirling and the west coast of Scotland. And yeah, you also had control, guys, of the small, narrow, wooden 10th century Stirling Bridge, which back then, guys, was a toll bridge. It was only crossing across the Forth. So yeah, if you had control of the bridge, guys, that meant you had control of trade between the Highlands and the lowlands of Scotland, and vice versa. So yeah, basically, if you had control of Stirling back then, guys, you had control of Scotland. But yeah, the Battle of Stirling Bridge, guys, would take place on the 11th of September 1297, a very cold September morning back in Stirling. And yeah, to the Scottish, guys, it took them 3 hours of boating to get the English to eventually cross over very small, narrow, wooden 10th century Stirling Bridge. Yeah, it was a very narrow crossing, guys. Only 2 English heavy horse could cross that bridge at any given time. And yeah, that's where the English really went wrong, guys. They thought that Wallace and de Murray were going to follow battle etiquette and allow them all to cross over the small, narrow, wooden bridge and then form up for battle before battle would then commence. But like I say, that's where they went wrong, guys. Wallace and de Murray, just enough men across the bridge before sounding the charge. And yeah, having men at Abbey Crag, guys, back in Stirling, Wallace and de Murray had 5,000 men hidden, things they knew absolutely nothing about. And yeah, they all came charging out and charging in. Now we had the Battle of Stirling Bridge, guys. Wallace and de Murray used a wee weapon called a shotgun. And yeah, shotgun, guys, just like in the movies, a big long line of spears between 15 and 30 foot long. And yeah, Stirling would use them as a defensive measure. But yeah, during the battle, guys, the small, narrow, wooden 10th century Stirling Bridge, it would collapse. And yeah, it's down to this bridge collapsing that wins Wallace and de Murray Battle of Stirling Bridge. And yeah, for winning that battle, guys, they were then handed the Grand Guardianship of Scotland. And yeah, back then, guys, being Guardian of Scotland was the next best thing that you could be to being King of Scotland. Because of our then deposed King, John Peel. And yeah, by now, guys, he was then locked in the Tower of London. But yeah, unfortunately for Andrew de Murray, guys, he would only hold this position for a few months. Yeah, he would die in November of injuries sustained in battle at Stirling Bridge. And yeah, so Wallace, guys, he'd hold his guardianship for a year. So yeah, a year later, guys, in 1298, after a few successful trips into northern England for Wallace, Edward I decides he's going to come up here and take care of Wallace for himself once and for all. So Edward marches up to Scotland, guys, in 1298. And the first place he reaches in Scotland, well, basically Maid's Camp, guys, just south of Edinburgh, a wee place called Dalhousie Castle. Edward, he makes his camp. The Edward I, guys, he has a couple of secret plans up his sleeve. Edward's secret plans are these: that he himself, he would march up the east coast of Britain as an army. He would then send his son, who would eventually become Edward II, up the west coast of Britain to become another army. And Edward II, guys, his orders were fairly simple. Come up the west coast of Britain and build works. Because this time the river wasn't going to be an issue for Edward, as it had been previously at Stirling. Edward I, guys, had also paid off 2 Scottish noblemen to show up at battle. Once battle had commenced, to take their men turned around. And these 2 men, guys, one was called John Stewart, other guy, his name was John Comyn. And John Comyn, he was our then deposed king, John Delio's nephew and brother-in-law through inter-clan marriage. So England advances up to Scotland, guys. He makes camp just south of Edinburgh. Upon hearing from John Stewart that William Wallace was through in Falkirk, Edward he forced marches his men through to Falkirk, and a battle would commence. But before we go into the battle of Falkirk, guys, going to play you this. Second, sailing across the River Forth on his rafts, again to catch Wallace in a pincer manoeuvre. Being left vastly outnumbered already, the English longboatmen simply pick off the... Oh, red. My luck's not changed with the lights, guys. It's a happy chappy. So Edward the First, guys, he invaded Scotland in 1296. Basically, it all starts, guys, in 1286 back in Edinburgh, Edinburgh Castle. With our then king, a man called Alexander III. And Alexander, guys, is at a wee party or a wee function in Edinburgh Castle, where a wee bit's worse for wear. He then decides that he wants to come home, across here to Fife, to the royal residence in Kinghorn in Fife. And Alexander, guys, he wants to come home to be with his young, beautiful French wife. Her name was Yolande. Yolande. She was half his age. So having successfully crossed the River Forth, guys, and made it into Kinghorn and Fife, Alexander, he was then thrown from his horse. He was thrown right over a cliff. He was found the following morning, lying at the bottom of this cliff, with a broken neck, dead. So So yeah, Alexander's death, guys, would leave only one heir to the throne of Scotland. Yeah, this heir to the throne, guys, was his wee 3-year-old granddaughter, a wee Norwegian princess called Margaret, the Maid of Norway. Now, Edward the First, guys, King of England, he's got plans for Margaret, the Maid of Norway. His plans are that he would send a ship over to Norway, dealing with money, food, and gifts, so that Margaret's family would send her here to Scotland. She would then marry his son Edward, rejoining the crowns of Scotland and England, as they had been previously, with the marriage of his sister Margaret to Alexander III. And yeah, Margaret, guys, she had died during the process of giving her oath. But yeah, Edward I, guys, he was better known as the Longshanks, because Edward I, he was very tall and very skinny. Yeah, they're calling that to his face though. So Edward, he would have you executed for that. Yeah, just here on your right, guys, get a wee view of Carnegie Hall. There it is, just there. It's not quite as big as the one in New York, but yeah, there it is. There's Carnegie Hall. Just there on your right. So yeah, the Norwegian royal family, guys, they were rather proud. They insisted that the now 7-year-old Margaret, the Maid of Norway, should be sent here to Scotland in a Norwegian vessel. But yeah, I don't know if it's fortunately or unfortunately for Margaret, the Maid of Norway, she would die in the Orkney Isles of severe seasickness and her crossing to Scotland. So yeah, her death, guys, that would leave no heir to the throne of Scotland. And yeah, as only God, guys, can choose a king or queen. It's like what happened a few weeks ago. The right of succession then kind of fell down to the noblemen of Scotland to fight out amongst themselves, see just who was going to be king. Yeah, in the beginning, guys, there were over 13 of these noblemen who contended to the crown of Scotland, and then it came down to 2 of them. Yeah, these 2 men, one was called John Balliol, the other man, his name was Robert Bruce. Now, the Bruce clan and the Balliol clan, guys, they were warring clans. The word clan, that translates as children or family, that's what it means. Yeah, these were warring clans, and they never ever saw eye to eye. Yeah, they couldn't quite decide amongst themselves just who was going to be king. Yeah, just here on your left, guys, this is East End Park. Yeah, this is the home of Dunfermline Athletic Football Club. Nice review of the pitch, guys, from your elevated seating position on your left. So yeah, get a nice review of the stadium on your left, guys. Yeah, this is the local football team. Going on, there's a wee piper there, someone's getting buried. Something to do with the club. Solid man. So yeah, the Norwegian royal family, guys, they were rather proud, insisted the now 7-year-old Margaret, the Maid of Norway, should be sent here to Scotland in a Norwegian vessel. The Margaret, guys, she dies in the Orkney Isles of severe seasickness, leaving no crown or heir to the throne of Scotland. Like I say, it then falls down to 2 men, John Balliol or Robert Bruce. Now back then, guys, Robert Bruce was one of the strongest knights in the whole of Christendom. And Edward I, he actually knows this, having been strong family friends, both the Bruce and the Balliol clan, for a long, long time. So Edward, guys, he had been on crusade with Robert Bruce's dad, Robert the Crusader. So yeah, Robert Bruce thought that knowing Edward since he was a wee boy, just that wee bit further up the ladder than John Balliol. Yeah, John Balliol, guys, was the man Edward I knew he could easily manipulate, virtually use as a puppet. So yeah, it's him who Edward chooses to become King of Scotland. He is crowned King John Balliol in the year 1292.
Yes.
But yeah, 3 years later, guys, 1295, Edward I, he declares war on France. So he then sends a wee letter up here to King John Balliol, asking for men to go and fight his war in France. Yeah, Scotland's army, folks, there were no army. any way, shape or form. So yeah, simply a militia to protect Scotland's borders. So yeah, King John Balliol, he refuses to send anyone to fight Edward's war in France. So Edward the First, guys, he decides he's not having this. Well, basically, King John Balliol, guys, he then signs a wee treaty with the French, starting off the Anglo-French agreement. Oh yeah, the old alliance. Basically, Scotland's army, guys, they weren't an army in any way, shape or form. They were a wee militia to protect Scotland's borders. So yeah, King John Balliol, guys, he refuses to send anyone to fight Edward's war in France, signs the Anglo-French agreement, or the Old Alliance, as it was better known. And yeah, that stays, guys. I choose Scotland or France go to war with England. The other side will join in with no hesitation whatsoever. So Edward the First decides he's not having this, and he will then recall men from his war in France and put an army together, and yeah, march up here to Scotland, make King John Balliol abdicate his throne. And yeah, Edward, guys, he marches up to Scotland in 1296. In the first place he reaches in Scotland is a small market town of Berwick upon Tweed, which is now in England. But yeah, back then the River Tweed in its entirety was the Scottish-English border. And yeah, Edward and his men then proceed, guys, to spend the next 3 days massacring the people of Berwick. And yeah, Edward only puts a stop to that massacre upon witnessing with his very own eyes a female being hacked to death during the process of giving birth. Edward then puts a stop to the massacre of the people of Berwick. He then invites all the Scottish noblemen down to Berwick, guys, to witness his handiwork, see what I've done, and yeah, look what I'm capable of. And he makes them all sign a wee piece of paper called the Ragman Rolls. And yeah, if you were a Scottish nobleman back then, guys, didn't want your name on the Ragman Roll, and then virtually made you a traitor to Scotland. He made Edward your overlord and master. And yeah, after massacring Berwick, guys, and making these men sign the Ragman Rolls, Edward the First marches north into Scotland. He takes Edinburgh and Stirling Castle with ease. And yeah, then basically garrisons every major market town and castle within Scotland, trying to run us as a province of England. Yes, in the year 1296, guys, Wallace, he appears on our radar in the small market town of Lanark. And yeah, he shows up in Lanark, guys, with his then wife, a lady called Marion Braidfoot. And yeah, just like in the movies, guys, a scuffle breaks out between Wallace and the English soldiers who have been sent there to garrison the village of Lanark. And yeah, just like in the movies, guys, Marion Braidfoot, she helps Wallace to escape Lanark through a house. So yeah, they go in through the front door, she barricades the front door, Wallace he escapes into the hills and the forests behind Lanark. But yeah, Wallace, guys, he was already a wanted man for the poaching of fish. But yeah, a wee bit more than poaching he was wanted for. So yeah, Wallace he is captured, guys, poaching fish by 2 English soldiers who try and take his catch forward. And yeah, Wallace he beheads the pair of them. So yeah, a wee bit more than poaching he was wanted for. So yeah, upon hearing of Wallace's escape, guys, then he museum to head of us, guys. Like I say, the wee cottage on the left hand side of it, this is actual buckets. To see the side of the cottage there, guys. Yeah. The left. Wow. Cottage on the left, guys, this is his birthplace. You see there were weavers, were the Carnegies. You see we'll come into St Margaret Street, guys, up the top is where I parked the coach, right outside the Abbey. So yeah, the Abbey is just off to the left, guys. So you go in and view Robert the Bruce's golden tomb. You also have a wee plaster cast of his skill, telling more about Robert Bristol as we leave Dunfermline. Yes, ahead of us, guys, is the city centre. Yeah, to the left of that, the Abbey's house in the park. Yeah, just on your left, guys, is the museum. So yeah, go round the front. turn left, guys, they'll take you into the coffee shop and the public bathrooms. So yeah, 10 past, guys, we'll spend what, 50 minutes? That gives you an extra 5 minutes, so I'm so generous. Yeah, even I was surprised, guys. The Carnegie Foundation. Anyone remember Sesame Street when they were a kid? Yeah. It's actually them who paid for Sesame Street to be made. The Carnegie Foundation they funded it, basically. The Children's Television Workshop. I even remember it, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's enough of that. The cow, he was my favourite.
The cow was my, yes.
Yeah, he was my favourite.
I know, he was
Show my age now. Yeah, it's the Carnegie Foundation that funded the Children's Television Workshop. It made Sesame Street. Various other projects all around the world. Yeah, buildings, libraries, schools. Carnegie didn't want all these buildings named after him, but yeah. They were. There's a lot of this guys, yeah, like attention.
getting it. Maybe.
Lights here, guys, we'll turn right. Ahead of us is the Andrew Carnegie Museum, and the NB College attached to it, guys. This is his birthplace. Ahead of us is Penguin Park. The cathedral. As you can go in and view Robert Bruce's golden tomb, absolutely free of charge. It's done in the loveliest Dunfermline, guys, Scotland's second capital city. After Dunfermline, guys, capital city was Stirling. After Stirling, Perth. And after Perth, Edinburgh. So Edinburgh is the 5th capital of Scotland. Before Dunfermline, guys, it was Pictish capital. The Picts are the indigenous people of Scotland. Romans called them the Picti, which translates as the painted, due to their use of the Pantai wool to dye their skin blue, also for tattoos and various other things. The Picts, guys, they believed in the elemental gods of earth, wind, fire and water. Kind of like in the Highlander movies, they believed that by cutting off your head, they were then releasing your power. The Picts were then gaining this power. And the Picts, guys, they also like to fight stark naked, so they did. The Romans, guys, they invaded us twice. First time was in the 1st century in 80 AD, making as far as